and thank you so much for joining us for our second episode of the Designer's Corner here for Construction Resources. We're super excited to have you. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. I'm really excited to kind of dive into kind of more learning about your design influences, things like that, and definitely your creative mind. So if you want to introduce yourself really quick, that'd be awesome.
Thank you, Lexi. You're so very welcome. It's always fun working with CR Home. So cool. You guys do the designers edition. But no, I'm Calvin. I'm here. I am a Georgia-based interior designer, and we actually work all over the country. So, but my projects here in Georgia, CR Home is my first place that I shop at, especially for kitchens. But yeah, so no. Thank you so much for inviting me on. Yes.
Good for the Mind Home Improvement magazine. And just to give yourself a little plug, everybody, Calvin Watt was officially promoted in the My Home Improvement magazine for his kitchen. It's a beautiful setup. So I would love to kind of dig into more of like your concept and kind of why you chose different pieces.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's so wonderful. Thank you so much. And that was so much fun too, because all of my other colleague designers, everybody did some fantastic designs. I was like, oh, I might want to try that on another client's project. But it was so much fun, and My Home Improvement was so wonderful for publishing us. And actually, they did our photo shoots over there at CR Home, so it was cool.
That was very cool.
Yeah.
So I see you have a bunch of different kind of color schemes, things like that. So tell me about that whole process.
So with that particular client, I normally do a lot of neutral tones are my backgrounds. But the client's current home was this honey wood kitchen. That was what her kitchen was before. None of that worked with the new design that we were taking her whole first floor to, because I had originally, for this client, I designed their basement 4 years ago. So we were waiting to get up to their main floor so we can design the entire main floor. And so we finally got up to the main floor last year, and we completed that design. And so I've still have been furnishing it and saving rooms to publish to different magazines and stuff. But that kitchen was the biggest headache and the biggest problem, because they wanted an open floor plan, and the lines were off just as soon as we opened the walls. So it was, okay, Calvin, how you gonna trick the eye to making this look like it was originally done when the house was built? But it was fun. My color scheme, I always want to give them natural colors, because this particular client was a fraternity client, a sorority and a fraternity. So they like their specific colors, like red. She was a Delta, and her husband is an Omega. So he's purple and gold, and she's red, and I think it's white, or just red, or Delta. And so I wanted to make it, I wanted those colors to be pulled in as an accent if they wanted them in the home. So I started the kitchen with a neutral tone, and I left it there so that they can personalize it, which, when we get ready to publish a kitchen and stuff for magazines and stuff, that you guys see the real stuff. But we edit those things out. So what you see is just a neutral backdrop. And the countertops that we selected from CR Home, we'll get to that a little bit later.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a little more about that. Go ahead.
I'm so happy that you talked about kind of the issues that you face. So I was reading in the article that you did come into a couple issues. So if you don't mind just kind of touching on that, and definitely kind of how you overcame those, would be awesome.
Okay. So a lot of it was opening up a room when it's an open floor plan can look like it's done wrong if the lines of the home don't balance, meaning the lines of the home, meaning when I opened that kitchen up, it opened up to a great room that actually had a fireplace in it. And so I actually wanted, normally if they build regular standard homes, They like to line up items like a fireplace is lined up with the kitchen when it's an open floor plan and stuff like that. There are always
Mm-hmm.
these center lines when you're standing in a doorway, you see a center point in the room. So when we opened up this wall, everything was kind of off. And
Mm-hmm.
so I had to kind of fake it a little bit. You can't really see it in the photos because we haven't released the great room yet. But what we did was I created cabinetry and used appliances on the left and the right to give the room a center. And then I used the oven set and the fabulous countertop that I use for the project. I use it as a backsplash too to take it up the wall. And I curved it up the wall so to kind of make you pay attention to where the center is. Now that center lined up with the other room. So now it looked like, oh my God, was this done when the house was built? Or, you know, so that was our biggest challenge because we didn't
Yeah.
know it until we got into construction, you know?
Oh, wow.
Tell you a lot of kitchen design, um, a lot of times you don't know what you need to know until construction starts. When
Mm-hmm.
the tear out and demolition occurs, that's when you really get to the scope of your project. And
Mm-hmm.
so always leaving contingency for those types of challenges is always a great idea for individuals who are looking to do, kitchen remodels and stuff like that later on.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Cool. Let's talk about the CR countertops that you use. So kind of
Oh,
go into detail about what you chose and why you
yeah.
chose it.
Now there was some fantastic countertops. I normally shop at the showroom in Atlanta. It's pretty big, and normally Esonet is out there. She helps me. And Darren was my cabinet guy for CR Home. Darren's out in so he's the best. He's the person I call every time. But I wanted a stone that was clean, but had a little bit of pattern to it. I didn't want it to just be straight white. So in looking at the stones, when we came into this, what was that stone called? I think it wasn't Britannica Gold, but it was the Calcutta Gold Marble Series. Um, I love that veining and that light gold that was in there.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about it is that because I had a waterfall edge, and then I was doing it on as the backsplash, I wanted that pattern. I wanted you to see it in the design. And you'll see that in the pictures that Lexi Pup pushes up. But I wanted you to be able to at least see the design and it not be covered up with all the cabinetry. So the stone that we chose was just perfect for it. It made everything coming off of the side, the way they matched up when they did the mitered edge to create my waterfall edge, the way they matched up the sway of the actual stone, the quartz itself, it was like phenomenal. So it looked like one piece just wrapping over a huge island. Now getting it in there was a different story, but Sierra Home did a wonderful job
Oh,
because it
oh,
took like 7 people just to get the top stone in because it was one piece. They didn't cut it, they didn't seam it together. It was one piece, 8 feet long. Like I was like, woo! I was hating it because I got a back problem and I didn't want to help. Just
well,
like
that's the one thing about CR Home is that we have great amount of service people too. So that's definitely something you didn't have to worry
yes,
about much.
and also taking it up the wall. Now that one was 2 pieces, but Darren's team, CR Home's team, did such a phenomenal job at matching the pattern. You don't even see that it's separate. Like where they seamed it behind my hood, you don't even see that it's even seamed because cutting that curve at the top, that was the challenging part because they were like, Calvin, so what degree do you want that curve? And I'm like, I don't know, just a slight bend. I wanted to follow the shape of the hood, mapping that out. And it was like, okay, Calvin, this is what we're going to do. And so it came out phenomenal though.
Oh, awesome. So one last question I have, to design anything in parts of their home,
Oh,
just kind of what is like a very basic level of design tips that you give somebody.
okay. So a lot of designers will always tell you, lighting is so important. Even on Zoom calls, we got to get our light right. You got to see. Lighting is so important. And if someone was doing a kitchen and they were doing it from scratch and didn't have any experience in this, I would tell them to always put your cabinets in first, and then we'll determine where lighting goes. Most designers can come in and have the lighting done first because that is the most messy, and because they've made accommodations for how far out away from the cabinet does it needs to be, and how much coverage will the actual illuminations span. Like for instance, like a 6-inch can. A 6-inch can covers about 8 feet worth of space of illumination. So having my can lights in there and pendant lights, they all help the look of the design. But the biggest part, whenever you're doing a remodel or renovation, I would tell you, even when you're redesigning a room anywhere, even in a bathroom or anything, if you do not have any experience in it, put your fixtures in first and then do your lighting. If you are an experienced designer or you're experienced in this, then you can do your lighting plan first, and then you can come in and have your furniture brought in so that everything is coming in and it looks cohesive. Um, but I think the biggest challenge that a lot of go through is something is in the wrong place by the time they get their cabinetry done, or they get their project, or their sofa is in and now it looks off center. You sometimes you can't gauge for that. You got to I say get the biggest pieces in first and then bring in the small stuff. So we know where center is, what scale is, and what, where the lines are, where we need to line up. When I first walk through a front door, what do I see? Do I see a staircase? Is the light fixture centered on the staircase with the center banister, or does it look off? If it looks off, you're going to look off. It's going to make you look over there or pay attention to something else that may not be the focal point. That's what lines help us do. They help us draw our eye to center. But that's my advice.
Find you Instagram handles, things like that. Go ahead and
Yes.
plug yourself.
Yes. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, I am on Instagram as Savon Company, and that's C as in Charlie, V as in Victor, ION Company. I'm also on Pinterest as Savon Company, Facebook as Savon Company, Tumblr as Savon Company, all of those different social media. But you can check out our website at www.savoncompany.com. And you can request services. You can just call and say hello. You can Instagram me or Facebook me. I'm not always watching those, but I would definitely get back to you. But we do post some fun design ideas and design challenges and stuff like that. And in the design world, we're all here to help kind of each other. It's not like it's not really competition, because we are our industry. And in our industry, we have to, by us showing support to one another, we help to build the industry. And so when we work with resources like CR Home, who can do a project from start to finish, it's better for us because now we don't have to expend all of our staff and come back with me if something happens, So having all of that in one resource in one place is always beneficial for design firms, where we're always moving and we got these moving pieces that we have to manage. And it was really easy working with CR Home. They are my number one go-to when I need countertops and those types of things. I can also get kitchen sinks from them. I can get faucets from them. I can get a lot of stuff from CR Home. Glass, ceiling fans, lighting, all this stuff. But that's me.
We're kind of a whole one-stop shop, so I'm so happy that your project worked out, and everyone needs to go check out Calvin's awesome things he has posted on his social media. I love your Instagram, so it's so great to see you popping up on there. But so Calvin, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me. It was really great to kind of chat with you and learn more. And everyone go check him out.
Thank you guys for watching.